We got some fall colors starting to come in. A lot of wilderness out in that direction. First view of Fish Lake, looking gorgeous. And White's Mountain and Coke Mountain, I think, in view. Or Coach, however it's pronounced. To slow down, Lacey and I have been finding amazing bushels of huckleberries, and they're really big right now. Very delicious. I think it's White's Mountain up there. We're at Fish Lake. There's a lot of larch up there. If I remember correctly, back in 2022, we camped on that ridge there, and the larch displays were second to none. Very lonely out, so I'm left a cigarette carton. Help start a fire, or that could help us start a fire. Here's our view. Wow. It's cooling off, which is nice. There's fish jumping. Feels good being back in the Bitterroot. Very cozy feeling. Definitely gonna get a good fire going tonight. Well, camp's set up. We fished a bit. Hydrating the dehydrated meals right now. Got water. Clouds to the north are building. This is looking southbound though. Show that in a second. There's to our north, some dark clouds building. Did say scattered thunderstorms this weekend, so we'll see. So they have a good firewood collection right now, in case it doesn't storm. Alright, Lacey and I are here at the Sweeney Creek trailhead in the Bitterroot Mountains. Long drive up. Very steep. But, get some haze today too. We're trying to do a little higher out, we'll see what happens. It'll be an overnighter or a two-nighter, depending on how things go. So, yeah, here we go. It's mid-September and they're already almost at peak. A lot different than last year, where it was the first week of October. We're at the junction. We're Start heading up to Sweeney Peak. Not that we haven't been heading up the whole time already. This trail's pretty straight up so far. The trail just got mostly eviscerated from this fire, but it's pretty straightforward. There's some rock cairns, but it's pretty straightforward, not a lot of brush so far anyways. There's Lolo Peak, I think, and we're already getting some gold larch up in here. Not all of them have turned, but I'd say 70% of them are right on their way to being golden. First view of Sweeney. Almost there. Well, we're within a couple hundred feet of the summit. Got a nice spot to camp out of the wind. Got a pretty sweet view of Lolo Peak. I think One Horse Lakes, I think they're called. Really beautiful up here. A lot of larch. Here's the summit. And I now got camp set up. Now we're just relaxing, enjoying the view. Went from hot to really cold really fast. So yeah, I think the smoke is kind of blowing out. We'll see though. Right, it is almost sunset. like another great sunset out towards the Flathead. Can't see it on camera because of the smoke, but the Mission Mountains are like right there. See Evero Hill, Arley, and the Mission Mountains. The quiet and peaceful Bitterroot Valley. Good morning. Smoke is settled in the valley, but you can see a bit further now, probably from the lighting. By the next 2 weekends, the larch will be in peak here in Montana, or the alpine larch anyway. You can still see massive groves of western larch, the bigger ones down valley that are still neon green. Right, Lacey and I are in no rush. Just a little thought from my own memory. Yeah, it's a burnt, ugly forest to most people, but the birds are going crazy. It's a beautiful open walk. And we're alone. At the end of the day, for me, that's what it's all about. This is our mountain right now. Alright, Lacey and I are back at the junction. Last weekend we went up that way to camp on Sweeney Peak. This weekend we're back and heading up the drainage to a series of lakes and hopefully some larch. Some recon earlier, and the southern end of the Bitterroot, a lot of the larch trees are the either yellow or the pea soup color, so they're probably a week away from peaking. Ones on the north end here, at least in this drainage, seem to have reached peak this weekend, but not near Lolo Peak, so that's interesting. So here we go down to those lakes. Definitely doesn't feel like fall. It's high today's supposed to be 84. I'm getting tired of this heat. I want those very cold, crisp fall days. It scares away a lot of other hikers. I like the cold. I want frost on the tent in the morning. Oh, it's hot. It's really hot, and the trail's kind of becoming overgrown, and we're in burn, so the sun's just beating directly down on us. Can't wait for this to be over. Here's Duffy Lake. Alright, we just passed Duffy Lake, making our way up to Holloway. Looks pretty up there. We're almost to Holloway. We just gotta get up over that rock there. Almost there. There's Duffy Lake down there. Much of it's burned. Most of this drainage is burnt. Of course, the side the trail's on is where it's burnt. That's the side the sun beats on the most. This time of year anyways. Poor lighting right now. Really pretty. We arrived in poor lighting, but we're looking for camp right now. Might do most of the filming of this lake tomorrow morning. Hey, we're just running out of time. Want to relax a little, not just hike all day. Can't really. We found a spot back there, dropped my pack. It's a flat spot here. There's not a lot of good options on this lake, on this side anyways. I'm sure if we had more time, we could cross around. Sorry for the bag, the sun's in a terrible spot. We could cross around the other side of the lake, but we don't got time. Do some more exploring in the morning. Last bit of light. It's epic alpenglow right now. Mill or Mills Lake, I can't remember the name. It's pretty close by to Holloway. And for future note, there's actually not a lot of, at least what we've explored so far, not a lot of good camping spots. We may have had the only okay one, and even then it wasn't the flattest. You probably set up on the beach when it's dried out like this, but it's still pretty rocky. Fish are jumping like crazy. Alright, we're all packed up, and time to hike out. Back down to Duffy Lake. Lots of fish swimming around down there. Yesterday, this is what I didn't film through frustration. Blow down galore. Feels hotter today too. Getting tired of this. Even biting flies are out still. We need that first freeze, kill them all. This route's kicking my butt. It's pretty much straight up. Whew. It's just a bit cooler out. Here's Trapper Peak, tallest mountain in this little range. And it's funny, it's the tallest mountain in the Bitterroot Mountains, but not the tallest in the Bitterroot Range. It's kind of weird how they have it named, I think. To me anyways, it seems like the range and mountain parts switched up, but up, up, up. Lots of larch at peak right now. So Lacey and I are past the point where the map says the trail ends, but there's still a slight climber's trail you can follow. So that's good. Still going up. Lacey and I are almost done with the first ridge. See the Como Peaks, Lone Bachelor and El Capitan. Loads of larch groves. There's even some aspen right there. You can see our second ridge. That's going to be the real scenic one. Right there. We have to drop down a bit, then we walk up onto it and we're golden. Lacey and I have begun the down climb, about halfway down. Then we're gonna, it's not as brushy as I thought. We could either walk up the basin or cross over to that ridge and then walk the ridge up. But it doesn't look as brushy as the satellite image made it look. Alright, we're heading up to the second ridge right now. Scenery should explode once we get up there. Not that it isn't already. We're on the second ridge. We're gonna head that way. So we're heading to this pass here, Holloway Larch. There's Coke or Coach or however it's pronounced mountain. The lakes we're camping at are at the base of that. There's two lakes, like tarns on this side, and there's a little ridge, and then the big lake on the other side. Alright, so I dropped my pack and walked around that rock feature to see the contours cut to that pass we want to go to. And the whole north side, including this, is still covered in a couple inches of snow, and it's pretty steep. And so the boulder field's just steep boulder field's covered in snow, and even with an ice axe, I don't think I would do that with the snow on it. So unfortunately we're gonna have to backtrack. I think we're just gonna camp on this ridge over here. That snow kind of really screwed us, because the rest of the route would have been, because there's still snow hanging on the north sides of those guys, and White's Mountain tomorrow. It has a long, somewhat long boulder hopping section, and that's going to be covered in snow too. You see all these north facing slopes have snow still, so that's an absolute bummer. At least we've got a really good larch show up here. So we're gonna back down the ridge and camp, get a good view for sunset, because these guys are probably going to glow pretty good. This side here, we'd be able to get to the pass from the valley here by just walking up to it instead of this ridge. But the issue at that point is, once we switch over to the north side of White's Mountain East, it's going to have all this snow, and this is kind of what it looks like. I don't know about boulder hopping on that stuff. That's what we had to do to get to the pass from here. That's a lot of snow still. The snow on these rocks, it's really slick too. I'm not risking it. A better view of where we had to go. Like I was saying earlier, we could drop down and make our way up there, but then we still got the north side of White's Mountain, which is higher elevation than this. And this is what this looks like. And it makes sense. I can get cell service up here. Makes sense because all the north face of Como Peaks and El Capitan are inundated with snow right now. I wouldn't even do this with an ice axe. It's not compact snow, it's just icy and slippery rocks. Oh well. Here's where Lacey and I will be camping. Not a bad view. She's getting air pads set up while I melt the snow to make water for us, because it's dry up here. Very beautiful. Even though we couldn't really complete the route we wanted, this is not a bad compromise. Maybe next year. basically bundled up watching this sunset. The low for at least Trapper Peak tonight, it's going to be 19 degrees, so it's probably going to be somewhere in the 20s where we're at. Definitely feels like it. It's cold. Nose and lips are all chapped from the wind. It's a really cool view though. We were packing up to hike out, and wind stopped last night. It actually wasn't that cold. It's probably just in the mid to upper 30s. I did get a hole in my AirPad, so that wasn't too fun. So I'm gonna have to fix that today. Okay, we were all packed up. We're gonna head on out. Let me just hike down, back up the Twin Lakes Lost Horse drainage. We're gonna be car camping here tonight, having a nice fire. Well, we made it up to the pass, Wahoo Pass. Made pretty quick work of it. Here we got a good view of Ranger Peak, Heavenly Twins, and then not so good view of St. Mary's Peak. Classic Bitterroot Trail status. You lose elevation, then gotta gain it back. Lacey and I are almost to the top. Very steep. Lacey and I have found camp. Nice flat spot, fire pit, and this beautiful larch grove. With all the dead trees up here, there's no shortage of firewood either. Especially in that direction, a lot of dead trees. We're gonna do some exploring with our packs off and settle in for the night. This is beautiful.